10's Late News with Tracy Spicer.
Tonight, there are concerns tonight a whale found floating off Victoria's southeast coast could have died as a result of survey work carried out by an oil company. The whale was discovered by an Esso seismic survey crew about 26 nautical miles off Lake's entrance in East Gippsland. Sharks have been in a feeding frenzy around the carcass. Local fishermen say they're concerned about the effects underwater geological work could have on marine life. However, Esso says it hadn't started its survey when the whale was found, and the frequency given out by its equipment wouldn't hurt a whale.
This week, John Clark and Brian Dawes' attention was distracted from the election campaign by a curious story that caught their eye, but just might not have caught yours. A whale was found dead last Saturday off Lake's entrance in Victoria, in an area where a multinational energy company is conducting seismic tests for oil and gas.
Minister, thanks for your time.
Well, thank you for inviting me on the program. It's good to be here.
I'd like to ask you about this incident where a whale died this week.
Yes, very sad indeed, yes.
Yeah. What exactly happened?
This is just the one the other day?
Yeah.
In Bass Strait?
Mm-hmm.
Whale that died of old age?
Well, it didn't, did it?
This is the one down at Lake's entrance?
Yeah.
In the area where they do the seismic testing?
Yeah.
Yeah, died of old age.
Well, how do you know that?
Well, you don't so much know it as... It's a question of likelihood. As I understand it, that's the most likely scenario.
Was it an old whale?
Yeah, I believe it was a fairly elderly mammal, yes.
Well, how do you know that?
Well, it'd have to be, wouldn't it? I mean, you're not going to die of old age unless you're getting on a bit, are you? Have a look in the dictionary.
OK. But does this happen fairly often with whales?
Whales dying of old age?
Yeah.
In the areas where they do the seismic testing?
Yeah.
No, not a lot. And let me say, there was no seismic testing, as I understand it, being done in that area.
And who told you that?
The company who does the seismic testing.
The mining company?
I believe that's what they do, yeah.
Now, what is seismic testing exactly?
Seismic testing is an environmentally friendly and deeply sensitive way of firing an enormous sonic impulse into the ocean floor in order to see if there's anything down there.
And what happens if anything's in the way?
Well, there isn't anything in the way. There's just water down there. I mean, it's fired off a boat. You've got the boat sitting on the top, and then below the boat, the blue area, that's just water.
I realise that. But is there anything in the water? I mean, fish and whales and things?
Oh, there are a few critters in there, but there's a fair bit of water between them. I don't know whether you've ever been fishing, for example. You'd be aware of this ratio. There are a fair bit more water than there are critters.
Yeah, exactly. But so there are creatures down there?
Well, no, not if you're going to fire a huge sonic impulse into the ocean floor. They get out of the area pretty briskly once the trouble starts. They're not idiots.
How do they communicate with each other?
Under the water?
Yeah.
Using sound. It's very clever. It's all sort of sonar.
How do they use sonar to communicate if the mining company's firing a sonic boom into the ocean floor?
Yes, that's a very good question. Afraid I don't know the answer. I'm not a botanist.
So this old whale that died, where is he now?
It's not there anymore.
Still in the sea?
Well, nobody knows where it is. It's disappeared, apparently.
And who told you that?
The company who does the seismic testing.
Well, what were they doing out there?
They were just out there making sure that there was no seismic testing being done.
Why?
Just in case anything went wrong.
Like what?
Well, if a whale's going to die of old age, for example, you wouldn't want it to happen during a seismic test.
No. Thanks for your time.
Bugger up your result, wouldn't it?
Sorry?
Sorry, just clearing my throat.